Genshin Impact is a big game that has a fandom that's always been in conflict. Whether it be about the gameplay, the story, or the toxic ships, people are always fighting over something. But in 2025, this reached a climax with the official voice actors going to war amongst each other. Were they fighting for their livelihood, or was something sinister happening behind the scenes? Like all good stories, we have to begin with a bloody war. On July 26, 2024, members of the SAG-AFTRA union voted to go on strike against video game companies due to boring stuff like fair pay and workers' rights, but more importantly, about the usage of AI in voice acting. AI and artistry are very controversial topics at the moment, because for big companies, they see it as a moneymaker. They can replace human actors for robots that can do the work for free. I think most normal people can agree that all this AI stuff needs to get regulated before it gets out of control. Like in the entertainment industry. The things that SAG brought to the bargaining table were very fair to ask. So in the beginning, everyone supported the strike against the game companies. Then the strike kept on going, and going, and later began affecting the games that people played. One of the games that was heavily affected by the strike was Genshin Impact, a story-based game where voice actors play a heavy role in bringing the characters to life. Over time, more and more of the events and quests had characters be silent due to their voice actors being signed with talent agencies affiliated with SAG-AFTRA. If you're signed with them, you gotta strike with them, sis. I remember playing the Lantern Rite event while the strike was happening, and it was genuinely the weirdest thing in the world. Everyone was silent, except for the two squeaker toys of Paimon and Xiangling. My ears were dying, but the climax definitely made up for it, even if we couldn't hear Hu Tao crying at one scene. It's like if you have a donut, but without the frosting and the sprinkles. You just get a sad lump of sugary dough. But that's what many Genshin fans were eating up for months. But they were sucking it up because they were still supporting the voice actors' fight against the machines. Until they messed around with the Dragon Lord's boy toy. During spring, Hoyoverse replaced many of the voice actors in a few of their games due to them being on strike. But the man of the hour that many put a target on is my boy, Kenichi. Specifically, John Patnude, a voice actor who went on strike in solidarity with his boys, woke up on March 26th to see that he was recast. This was a big escalation. Hoyle sent the message that, if you aren't coming to work, you're getting replaced. Only a few hours later, his replacement was announced to be Jacob Takanashi. He never knew what domino effect he would start with his announcement tweet, because at first, it was received really poorly. Some saw Takanashi as a big bad scab who stole a job. Even a few of his fellow voice actor colleagues condemned him for the same reason. The main one being Paimon, where they said, "Jacob is no castmate of mine." Harassment and death threats were being thrown around to everyone on all sides. It was just childish behavior all around. I kind of feel bad for the guy. Twitter hates you, your voice actor family hates you, all for something that you never had the full context on. Takanashi never even knew there was an American strike going on, because he was based in Japan and he's busy raising a family. He only has so much time in the world to doom scroll on Twitter. There's an Excel sheet documenting which voice actors supported and condemned Takanashi's entrance into the game. Does this list really need to exist? It just shows how invested people were into the situation, and I can understand where they come from. On one hand, Patnude lost one of his most prestigious roles and his job due to Hoyle quitting on him. If you lost the opportunity of a lifetime from someone replacing you because you're fighting to make it better, that has really gotta hurt. While on the other hand, Takanashi was publicly shamed for taking a job that he never knew the full details of. Maybe things would have been different if Takanashi knew what was happening in America beforehand, but the only thing he can control now was his response to all the hate. He kept quiet, which was an honorable thing to do, considering what some people did. It's impossible to not mention how insane Paimon and Keqing's voice actors were during this time. Please don't go and harass them, I'm just sharing what they did publicly. Keqing was voiced by Kaylee Mills, a voice actress who was not very happy about Takanashi replacing Pat Nude. She made snarky comments about his financial status, basically making fun of him for being poor and just saying all sorts of nasty stuff all around. She did apologize for it later on, but that's debatable. At least she actually implied she was sorry, because unlike with Paimon, voiced by Corinna Boiger, they were...
YouTubers don't know anything. They're not voice actors. Liars. They are paid to lie to you. Some non-union actors will have to join the union. Yeah, they'll be able to. Easily, because they'll get paid more. So nobody else's opinion matters.
Let's just say they've been a little too passionate about this ordeal. They've been alleged to rally people to not support Takanashi's involvement with Kenichi, often going way too far into spreading misinformation. Foreshadowing. Crashing out on TikTok, and apparently Freudian slipping about the true intentions of the strike?
But bottom line is, both non-union actors and union actors in a video game want it to go union and have wanted it to go union for a long time.
That, and crashing out on the toilet. Skibbity Paimon? Hypocrisy over their FICOR status, which is a thing where you're paying for only some union benefits, but you can legally get away with working on non-union projects? All I know, it's pretty taboo in that world, where some see it as scabbing. Even though Corinna continued to work despite their incessant need for others to strike, I don't know, it's weird. And worst of all, blaming all of this on their autism, which... Please do not engage in personal attacks, as tempting it may be. I'm holding back so hard right now. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This was a big blow to the strike, as people smelled something fishy. It's against the law to fire a worker during a protected strike in America, so why did Kenichi get his hot voice taken away? Well, some nerds took a read into the 2024 agreement that SAG-AFTRA put out, and saw something interesting. Hoyle did not sign it. There are a few theories as to why Hoyle made their choice, but the biggest comes from this clause that states that, if Hoyle were to sign the agreement, they will become a SAG project. Their voice actors must join the union within a set amount of time, or risk losing their jobs due to how pricey it is to obtain a golden SAG card. Wait a minute, wasn't this about AI in the industry? It looks like I need to call in the Context Squad. On April 4th, the voice actor of Riesli, Joe Sieja, released a video talking about the strike and presenting the absolute facts about it, like a parent giving their children a stern talking to. It's a good video that confirmed a lot of information, like why this whole strike even began, why some are pressuring Hoyle to sign a deal for AI rules in America, some history on union law, but the biggest and most impactful one, Genshin Impact was never a target for the SAG strike. Instead, it's what Joe calls a collective work refusal. I believe this is a fancy French term that overlaps with striking. It's a refusal to work, but is separate from the official strikes that unions perform that have legal protections. Remember when Kenichi got recast? Well, his farewell tweet implied that he was not part of the SAG union when he was voicing my boy. Sad as it may be, Hoyle was in their right to sack and replace Kenichi due to this not being a sanctioned strike. It also sucks because, if Hoyle did sign the interim agreement, he would have been in danger in losing his job anyway, as, if Genshin was a certified SAG project, a non-union actor could only work on a project for a certain period of time before making the big choice. It's a very gray and complicated situation. But as I see it, the SAG strike was about the AI stuff, but a separate work refusal happened behind the scenes by certain voice actors to rally fans against the evil Hoyleverse, while in the shadows, it went more like, "Hey bastard, I want you to sign this. Or else." This revelation went as well as you would expect. Something that gets commonly brought up in the story is the idea of a closed shop. It's a business that agrees to hire and keep only members in a union. It's illegal in the United States under the Taft-Hartley Act. Many people have accused SAG-AFTRA's voice actors of coercing Hoyle to become a union game against their wishes, and it makes sense given the evidence. It's almost like Hoyle was already bound by a rulebook. Hoyle was based in China and must adhere to their laws. According to Article 1023 of the Civil Code, there are protections in law for voice actors against AI replacement. In theory, Hoyle didn't sign the agreement with SAG because they were already leashed to an existing law. When the truth bullet struck, the Genshin community lost patience with the union. It was even worse in China, where people began boycotting the game due to the English voice actors exploding on the daily. For a while, it was kind of up in the air on how the situation would go. In-game characters have been silent for months, the voice actors have been throwing poo-poo at each other, and Paimon's crash outs helped slop tubers to become millionaires. But on Paimon's in-universe birthday, May 30th, that'll be a day that will live in infamy. In an interview with YouTuber Paperback Boy, Korna stated that they would not be reprising their role as Paimon in future versions of the game, and that would be confirmed alongside Kaylee's as Kutchings. People read the air and deduced that they were kinda sorta let go due to that. You just had to be there that day. It was like your country winning the World Cup. But hold on a second, what's going to happen to their voices? Well, the two characters' replacement voice actors would be announced shortly after, both of whom are still anonymous for obvious reasons. With Kutching,
Cut to the chase! Cut to the chase!
I don't know, the new one sounds a little too British for my liking. On the other hand, Paimon's was replaced with someone whose voice is like a fresh apple pie baking in a quaint cottage.
If you had a nightmare, maybe all you need is something to cheer you up.
I love how everyone can agree that she's actually bearable to listen to now, but I have to be real. Squeaky Paimon was iconic, but Korna and Kaylee just had to let their career slip through their hands because ego, anger, the body swap potion from Roblox possessing them? I don't know. On July 9th, 2025, the official SAG strike would come to a close, with an agreement being made between the union and various game companies, with a lot of demands being met. Yippee! But at what cost? Everyone came out worse from all this. SAG-AFTRA suffered a damaged reputation. Big names lost their jobs. Some of them worked really hard to earn it though. And I had to see Kenichi get his voice box surgically replaced in person. The new voice is it's pretty good, not gonna lie. The only winner here is Paimon's new voice actor. They're gonna retire good. The only takeaway that I can conjure up with my wizard spellbook for this story is the power of reading. Corporations serve themselves first and will screw you over if it means they can get away with an extra nickel. Unions exist to try to be the armor that protects workers from baloney. Until the armor's enchantments become a burden, people walk off the dirt trail into a busy intersection and hurt everyone in the long run. I really do hope that everyone can at least calm down and try to learn from the past. Spotting bad moves and making your voice heard helps everyone in the long run. So please, give a round of applause to Paimon for sacrificing himself to expose the union's true intentions.
Congratulations!
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 Thank you all.